Siphons in society, that these siphons can be anything from money, politics, fame, poverty, religion, even it could be racism, it could be nationalism, it could be anything, even your hobbies. If they can be like siphons. So what happens is they suck you into their orbit, then they take over your perception of reality, and once you are consumed by them, it keeps on getting reinforced until that becomes your life. You don't know life in any other way other than that particular way that the siphon is playing out with you. Hello guys, welcome back once again. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you who are watching this program. My name is Hassan and this is Ornaments of the Ages, and here what we do is we speak on topics around raising our consciousness, understanding the hidden laws of the world and the secret teachings of all ages, and a whole lot more. I hope you guys are all doing good. What we're going to do today is we're going to continue on with our topic on the moral ethical philosophy and how it is vital in order for us to address any kind of challenges that falls upon us in our life. So it gives us a good understanding about who we are, what we are, and what is our context within the universe, the world that we live in. Without that, we could find that we find challenges, and not only do we address them in the wrong way, we really do end up finding ourselves in a situation then far more worse than what it really was initially. So a lot of the problems that we create, we make it more worse than it could have been if we were to deal with it properly from the onset by using a moral philosophy. A philosophy is just basically a framework that tells us exactly where we come from, who we are, and where we're going. So what I want you to do is I want you to have a look at this diagram, and hopefully this animated diagram will help you to understand what is really at play and who really has power and control over these challenges in society. These challenges often present themselves as siphons, and what they can do is they can hook on to people and they can suck them into their orbit. And once you're in their orbit, what happens is another cycle takes over, which is the being and the reality. The being and the reality start cycling off of one another. So you end up seeing that whatever you are living in, that's the reality that keeps on getting projected back at you. So the first thing what happens is these siphons in society, that these siphons can be anything from money, politics, fame, poverty, religion, science, even it could be racism, it could be nationalism, it could be anything, even your hobbies. If they can be like siphons. So what happens is they suck you into their orbit, and what happens is then they take over your perception of reality, and once you are consumed by them, it keeps on getting reinforced until that becomes your life. You don't know life in any other way other than that particular way that the siphon is playing out with you. Now this animated diagram isn't professionally done. I just put it together myself with whatever little knowledge that I have. I hope you can take the concepts from it, because it is very important to have it in this animated format for us to really conceptualize it to the best as we can. So what you can see here is these siphons, they are swirling around, and sucking people. Usually they'll suck people into their orbit, their influence. And if you have a good philosophy in life, you can avoid a lot of different things. Philosophy is just basically a framework here in terms of knowledge and understanding of how things work. And what it is you can use that to navigate away from certain siphons that operate within society. Now, not all siphons are negative. Some of them can be positive, but all of them have a tendency to become negative if you infuse it with too much focus and too much of your energy. So in life, there's another philosophy, which is basically you give something too little attention, it will die. If you give something too much attention, it will deteriorate and it will be corrupted. And one of the elements of this corruption here with the Siphons is that they can become very consuming. They'll consume your energy, they'll consume your life, and what they will do, they'll completely overtake your life and give you a perception of reality that is wholly about this Siphon and nothing else. So it's very important to know how to avoid them. But what I really want to do is I want to show you exactly how this thing really works, and if you understand it, it will allow you to see the correct perspective, and then it will empower you, and that in itself will help you to detach from them more easily. Because sometimes when we're struggling to get away from something, that thing that we're struggling with, it just infuses it with even more power, and it grabs onto us a lot more tighter. Now, the main point that's been made here through these diagrams is that we all understand that in society there are a lot of challenges, and a lot of things can suck us into their orbit and lead us astray from what we want to do and completely consume our time and energy. But really what's being said here is that, yes, when something overtakes you and you're totally consumed within that issue, that problem, that challenge, it could seem like as if that thing has fallen upon you and there's no way out. Wherever you go, it seems to be that it's constantly following you, whatever it may be. It could be, let's just say, some sort of cult or narcissist. I'm just using here this diagram to show you how this thing works. So it could be anything really. You could put your own challenges into these areas. I've got here a close-up image of the Siphons that are working here. So if you see them, they are constantly going around, and somebody could fall near their influence, but they could also navigate away from it. But other people could fall into the actual Siphon and get consumed by them. But what's really happening is that there's nothing really falls upon you, and nothing is chasing you, and nothing is consuming you. There is a mutual coming together of two different things. So it's you coming together with whatever challenges that you're facing, and the sphere of its influence is also like that. So you both come together, you take a step forward towards it, and it takes a step forward towards you, until you are within the sphere of its influence. And in the same way as you leave the sphere of influence, the challenge that you're facing will also leave you as well. Now, this you can see on the diagram how it operates. You come in into the sphere of the cult, and then as it swerves around like a siphon, sucking people in, you might want to just not be influenced by that. You might have the knowledge of that being a negative thing, and you will take a different route, and then the influence of that challenge will also leave you equally. So you have within you the power and the ability to make that choice, whether you want to be within that influence or if you want to navigate away from it. The problem is a lot of people are going round and round within the challenges that they're facing without realizing the actual power lies with them. So they're not making the right choices and the right decision, thinking that they've been overpowered by something else. But really, nothing is overpowering them. The power really is within them, and they can make that choice of leaving the sphere of influence from that negative challenge that they're facing. Now, what happens is that most people, once they're within the influence of that negative challenge that they're facing, they don't realize that in order for them to get out, they have to know that there is a way out, without seeing the way out. So you're not going to see the way out, because the inner being and the external reality will reinforce each other. So if you try to change the reality, you find that that same reality is projected back again. It doesn't change. So what you have to do is you have to, it's like taking a blind leap of faith. So you'll know by the framework that there is a way out in this direction, but you're not going to be able to see that way out until you've passed a certain area, certain distance, and then you can see, okay, everything that I believed, everything I've followed up to this point has been correct. So the moral philosophy here really is that the philosophy or the framework itself will guide you through challenges, give you a blueprint that you can follow, that without it, it could be a bit daunting because you don't see the escape route before you've actually passed the escape route. So you wouldn't be able to see it. The only thing that's telling you there is the framework that is already there. And the framework is made up of, obviously, the universal laws, the hidden laws. Obviously, they've been passed on through generations by people who have already experienced these challenges. So we know now that, you know, we can have that blind leap of faith going towards a particular direction, even though it may seem like it's not ending, and come out from the influence of something negative into something positive, even though for some time it may appear that, you know, there is no escape route from them. So people who are involved in drugs, who are trying to get away from their negative environment, negative network, may find that it's almost impossible to do that, to get away from those elements, those negative networks. The solution of any of these problems is that it lies within you. It lies within you. You need to let go of it so that it can also let go of you. So we need to learn how to let go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, share, and we're going to make a lot more videos slowly teaching us about the more ethical philosophy of life and what we need to know about life in order to make our life that little bit more easier. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.